Welcome to the Heidi Thorne Show. I'm your host, Heidi Thorne, and in this podcast, I share my real-world self-publishing and small business experience with you. Before we get started, I just want to remind you to like, comment, follow, share, and subscribe. Now let's get on with today's show. Barrett Laurie, a wonderful author friend of mine, asked if I could expand on something I said in a YouTube video, which was that self-publishing is more about marketing than writing. Here we go. Writing is craft, self-publishing is business. We must make a clear distinction between writing and self-publishing since they are two different things. Writing is crafting words into content such as stories, information, songs, scripts, poetry, whatever. Self-publishing is the business of selling content, whether that's writing or books, music, art, audio, or video. Writing creates content. Self-publishing sells it. Being the business side of the equation, self-publishing is about producing, marketing, selling, distributing, and delivering content. The best authors can be the worst self-published authors. Authors often equate their ability to write with their ability to sell. In other words, they think that if they can just write better, their books will automatically sell better. There are multiple layers to this problem. A talented creator was crying, like almost literally crying, on social about how her sales had tanked recently. She couldn't understand why because she does quality work, quote unquote. She questioned what she was doing wrong. This sounds like an E-Myth and Emerson problem to me. Let me explain. In 1986, Michael E. Gerber's book, The E-Myth, Why Most Small Businesses Don't Work and What to Do About It, was published. While the concept of the book is simple and logical, it was a groundbreaking book that is still popular decades later. The basic premise of the E-Myth is that small business owners, authors are small business owners, get stuck building their businesses around what they do best. In essence, they are technicians who are skilled at their craft. Sadly, these technician business owners usually aren't skilled at running a business and generating sales, which leads to failure. What I've witnessed from being in small business networking for many years is that these technician business owners are always trying to perfect their craft or their product in the hopes that this will translate into more sales. This is the better mousetrap problem. In the 19th century, Ralph Waldo Emerson is credited with saying, "Build a better mousetrap and the world will beat a path to your door." This is actually a misquotation and variation of one of his other quotes that says, "If a man has good corn or wood or pigs to sell, or can make better chairs or knives, crucibles or church organs than anybody else, you will find a broad, hard-beaten road to his house, though it be in the woods." I started to appreciate Emerson's work while I was in college taking a course on great American speakers. And he's one of my favorite authors. But this didn't jive with my business studies, experience, and observations then or now. True, your work must have a level of quality that is acceptable for the market you wish to serve and sell to. Beyond that, I believe that any push to improve quality, especially in writing, is ego-driven because you're trying to be the best in your eyes and those of your peers. Avocation to vocation. If you're an author, chances are you love writing. In my 2018 Thorne Self-Publishing Survey, the top answer for motivation for writing and self-publishing was, quote, "I love writing," with love in all capital letters. I did that purposely, and it seemed to resonate with the participants. The second most popular answer was self-expression and creativity. So we have a lot of self-published authors who love the craft of writing and being creative. Yet their top challenge in the survey was not knowing how or where to sell their books. And 73% of them make less than $1,000 in book income a year. Writing is an avocation, an activity that you love to do. Self-publishing is a vocation, a business and work. Being a vocation, it's not about the writing. Even if you choose a traditional publishing path, once you choose to sell your writing in any way, it becomes a business. The problem is that as an avocation, authors are emotionally attached to their writing, making it difficult to objectively think about selling their work. It's their baby. Lots of authors take a childlike view of their writing. They're proud of their work, and they should be. But some of them get stuck in a "look at what I did" mindset, hoping that the market will validate their writing as good with lots of sales. But the market doesn't operate that way. The markets for books, regardless of genre or niche, are hyper competitive. There are literally thousands to millions of writers in the world, many of them good writers. There are hundreds of millions of books in the world. The works of long dead authors are still selling, sometimes decades or centuries after they've passed. And internet algorithms now favor bigger players, which impacts your visibility online. Standing out is a monumental task today. The true size of your target audience could be as small as 1% of your author platform, maybe even smaller. If you hope to make book sales, you must educate yourself about how your specific markets operate. Experiment with a variety of marketing tools, monitor your results, and be ready to constantly shift gears as markets and technology change. Setting realistic expectations is critical. As I noted earlier, the 1% rule is a good place to start. The 1% rule is something that I emphasize in my book, Self-Publishing to Make Money, What You Need to Know. And so I would recommend reading this, of course. And it is available on Kindle Unlimited if you are on Kindle Unlimited. I would also suggest that you read Small Business Failures. And this is my top selling book on Audible. Now that's a marketing question in itself, because as print or ebook, it doesn't do that great. But on Audible, it's the top seller. So there you go. Also, I have a Udemy course titled How to Sell Your Self-Published Book on Amazon. And I go through how to measure your author platform, how to forecast, and lots of worksheets and all kinds of good stuff. So do check that out on Udemy, and I will include a link in the show description. I hope you found that helpful, and if you did, please rate, review, and subscribe to The Heidi Thorne Show on whatever podcast platform you like to use. I'm on all the major ones: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean. Pick your favorite, I'm probably there. If you like the YouTube video better, you just have to subscribe to my Heidi Thorne YouTube channel and turn on the notification bell so that you get an alert when a new video is up. I would appreciate it if you would share the audio or the video with your friends on social media. My self-published books are on Amazon, Audible, and Apple Books. All you have to do is type in my name, Heidi Thorne. My author page will come up and a list of all available titles will be shown. If you'd like to connect with me, my website is HeidiThorne.com, and I am most active on the social platforms of Instagram and TikTok at Heidi Thorne. Thank you so much for listening and for your support. I'll look forward to talking with you again in the next episode, and in the meantime, have a great day.